Okay, hello, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is being filmed on my bed because we're talking about my romance TBR. I'm just kidding, I did not plan to say that, but it's fitting, I guess. We are going to be talking about all the books that I have on my romance TBR because I feel like I'm coming into a little bit of my romance novel era. I am dying to read a bunch of romance. So with that, I actually have decided to start hosting a 24-hour romance readathon every month. So that's super exciting. The first one is coming up. It's going to be on the 24th, which is a Sunday. There's no like specific time that it's going to start and end. However is best for each of you. If you want to do it within your own time zone or whatever, that's totally fine. I'm just gonna do it however works best for me in the moment. I'm not planning out a time necessarily. They are going to each month have one reading sprints live stream during that 24 hours, and then we're also going to be doing a group book, like a read-along buddy read for each readathon. So that's super exciting. There is a Discord that you can join if you would like. I will have it linked in the description. But yeah, I'm really excited for it. I did also make a community post about it on YouTube, so if you saw that already, that's what I'm talking about. So with all that being said, let's talk about the first book that's on my romance TBR, which is that group book for the read-along, and that is The Deal by Elle Kennedy. So this book is literally everywhere. So many people talk about this series called the Off-Campus series, and there's about 5 books in this one, but then there's like a spin-off series, and it's super popular on booktube and bookstagram and all of that, and I have not read it yet, so I decided to have this be the first group book that we do for the readathon, and in the following months we are going to continue with this series. So in May you can expect to see The Mistake by Elle Kennedy, and then so on. So yeah, if you would like to join that romance readathon, I would love if you did, and you can just join the Discord, or you can just read along, read romance in general, or you can read the group book with us. More information on all of that as it gets closer will be up on my Instagram. If you're not following me there already, you definitely should, so you stay in the loop with all of that. But this is definitely one on my romance TBR. I'm gonna go through the rest of the ones I have physically, and then I do have a lot of other ones that I don't have that are like dark romances that I plan to read on my Kindle, some that I just don't own yet, and then also some like anticipated release romances. So what else I have here is another very popular one on booktube and bookstagram. It's called Twisted Love by Anna Huang, and this one's going to be a buddy read. I'm going to read it next month in May with my friend Tabitha, and I'm really excited about this. This is another series, so hopefully I really like the first one and then I can pick up the second one shortly thereafter. I really don't know a ton about this one actually. That's okay, like I don't really care to know. I'm just wanting to read some good romances, so I don't like need to go in for necessarily the plot. Like I just want to read the romances to have a good time. Also, I'm just wanting to pick up a lot of the popular ones to see what the hype is about. But yeah, if you didn't know, this one's about a hockey romance, and then it follows a bunch of characters throughout the series and stuff. This one, Alex is a devil blessed with the face of an angel and cursed with a past he can't escape. Ava is a free spirit trapped by nightmares of a childhood she can't remember. Despite her broken past, she's never stopped seeing the beauty in the world, including the heart beneath the icy exterior of a man she shouldn't want. Her brother's best friend, her neighbor, her savior, and her downfall. Theirs is a love that was never supposed to happen, but when it does, it unleashes secrets that could destroy them both and everything they hold dear. So brother's best friend, forbidden love, sounds really good. And then another one is a book of the month book, Dating Dr. Dill by Nisha Sharma. This one seems like it's going to be really kind of ridiculous and a silly goofy time, but again, that's kind of what romance is all about sometimes. Also, I just love the colors on this cover, so that's like the main reason I want to read it. I don't even know what it's really about, and I don't have like a thing for doctors necessarily. I don't know, but it's like, I think this is also like a fake dating, and it's about this guy who is on the Dr. Dill show. Karina dreams of having a love story like her parents. Her search for a soulmate becomes impossible when her argument with Dr. Prem Verma, host of the Dr. Dill show, goes viral. Now the only man in her life is the one she doesn't want. Okay, so this is maybe like a hate to love, enemies to lovers, maybe fake dating too. I didn't read that far, but I don't know, we'll see. This is just definitely on the TBR. And then another one is Colleen Hoover. Okay, I have a lot of Colleen Hoover on this list because she is superior to all. So All Your Perfects is definitely one on that list. The other ones I have that I have not read yet that I want to read by her are Maybe Someday, Hopeless, and Reminders of Him. I'm gonna be reading Reminders of Him very soon for my family book club. And then obviously It Starts With Us, which is the prequel to It Ends With Us, which I have read. And I want to also read Heartbones. I have not gotten to this one yet. I do have it on my Kindle. It's on KU, so I do want to read that one. And I think that's all the Colleen Hoover at the moment that I want to get to. So like the Hopeless series, the Maybe Someday series, but obviously I need to start with the first book of that and then I'll go from there. But for All Your Perfects, I know that there is kind of an order to go in if you want to get like the full story, the full world before just reading this one. Let me see if I can find this. There is a graphic that looks like this with all Colleen Hoover's books you can find on her Instagram. It's super helpful. It shows you like the age ranges and then the series versus standalones. So for All Your Perfects, the series Hopeless technically comes before this one. So there's Hopeless, Losing Hope, Finding Cinderella, and then you can read All Your Perfects. And then the final novella for that is called Finding Perfect. So if you read in that order, that helps to make Finding Perfect make sense. So I do want to read all of those. Oh, and then of course Layla by Colleen Hoover I also have on my Kindle, Without Merit and Confess. And then the Maybe Someday series, Maybe Someday, Maybe Not, Maybe Now, which I think will be future book club picks for my family book club. So that's all the Colleen Hoover. Obviously I want to read all the Colleen Hoover. I've read a good amount of hers so far. I've read 6 of her books and I'm about to pick up Reminders of Him. So definitely want to get through all of Colleen Hoover. And then the next one is One Last Stop by Casey McQuiston. This is another buddy read that I'm planning for next month in May with my friend Jordan, and we're going to pick up this one. This has been on my TBR for a very long time. This is one of my TBR vets of this year that I told myself I have to get to. This should be a fun time, and I know that this is also a very popular one that a lot of people have already read and talked about on booktube and bookstagram and stuff like that. But this is sapphic and has to do with a little bit of time traveling. It's the same author as Red, White, and Royal Blue, which I have not read that one, but we'll see how this one goes. I feel like I might enjoy this one more than Red, White, and Royal Blue. I never really planned to ever pick that one up, but I'm interested in this one. So, and then we have Shipped by Angie Hockman, and I am going to be reading this for a special vlog coming up very soon with the next 2 that I'll be talking about. This one is a like cruise ship setting. The Unhoneymooners meets The Hating Game in this clever romantic comedy following a marketing manager who is forced to go on a cruise with her arch nemesis when they're up for the same promotion. I know my mom read this one. I told her to borrow it from the library when we were there one day, and I was like, I haven't read it yet, but I think you might like it, so you should read it. So she did. She said it was pretty cute. It didn't end up being like one of her all-time favorites or anything. She is also a big fan of Colleen Hoover. Her favorite book of all time is Reminders of Him. So anyways, she did read this one, so I am looking forward to it. I am actually going to be reading The Hating Game with this one in the same vlog, so I think I might read this one first if this one gets compared to The Hating Game, you know. Anyway, so The Hating Game by Sally Thorne on my TBR will be in an upcoming vlog. Enemies to Lovers, Office Romance, if you haven't heard of this one. It's also a very popular one, and there is the movie now. And then the last one for that vlog is The Kiss Quotient by Helen Huang. I think it's another Enemies to Lovers. I don't know what other tropes are in this one, but this one is a series, but you can read them as standalones with The Bride Test and The Heart Principle, and I've heard this one is the best one, and it is the first one. I don't know if I'll continue with the rest of those or not, but I don't know. We'll see how this one goes, but I'm looking forward to it. And then we have some Christina Lauren, which is one of my favorite romance authors, The Soulmate Equation. This one, my mom also did read this one. I haven't gotten to it yet, but this is about the dating app that's based off of your DNA, and then the main character gets matched with the CEO of said app. That's all I know about this one, but I think it'll be super cute as well. And then another Christina Lauren, which I've been meaning to get to for forever, Love in Other Words. I think I'm going to love this one so much because it's childhood friends to lovers, which I prefer over enemies to lovers, so I think this one will be a new favorite, and I'm really excited to just get into it. I don't really know anything other than it's the friends to lovers trope, so I'm really excited for it. It is kind of like really long, 400 pages. That's it for all the physical ones. Now let me go through all the other ones that I don't have yet or am planning to read on my Kindle and stuff. I do have a shelf on my Goodreads with all of these books that I'm going to be telling you right now, so if you want to go back and look at my Goodreads, you can do that. I'll have my Goodreads in the description as always, and then it's just under the shelf Romance TBR. So the first one on it is The Simple Wild by K.A. Tucker. I have seen this one pop up for a long time because I think it is an older one. It came out in 2018, so it's kind of been around for a while, and I've seen a lot of people talk about it. It's got really good ratings on Goodreads. I am looking forward to it. I think it's very much like a coming of age story as well, about a girl who goes to Alaska and she meets a boy who is not willing to leave Alaska, but she can't stay, so it's kind of a forbidden thing. I'm not really sure. Another one is a new release that just recently came out. Is called The Confidence of Wildflowers. I've seen a lot of people reading it already. This is by Mikaela Smeltzer. I think has already also gotten a bit of mixed reviews, but the Goodreads ratings so far are really high, so that's good. I think I might enjoy it, but I don't know anything about what it's about. I really don't, but I think it's pretty smutty. There probably are lots of trigger warnings for this book, and I don't know what they are, but always look into that if that's something you're curious about before you read any book. Obviously, a grumpy sunshine age gap, but it definitely doesn't seem to be a light read, like light fluffy. Anyway, so yeah, there's that one. And then next on my list is Flock by Kate Stewart. This series I've also seen a lot about. It's gotten to be pretty popular. So this is another dark romance series called the Ravenhood series, and I think this is a little bit of like a reverse harem. The tagline says, "Can you keep a secret?" I really don't know what that means. I don't know what this is about. I grew up believing that real love stories include a martyr or demand great sacrifice to be worthy. Yeah, I don't know. This one definitely does seem dark as well. I do have one in between these dark romances that is a light fun romance that I've heard Haley Pham talk about. It's like her favorite romance ever, and it's called Better Than the Movies by Lynn Painter. This one seems like it's super cute because it's a young adult contemporary romance, so this will be nice to like break up the dark romances, but again, don't know what it's about. That's on my TBR. Another one that gets back into the dark romances, Desperate Measures by Katie Robert, and this is like the Disney retellings, smutty retellings of Disney characters. I am going to be reading this one, I think in May, also for Jan Agaton's Full Moon Book Club. This is her pick for May. It's a super short one. I've seen the physical copy of it, and it is really short. I've heard it's not great. I've heard some people say it's not great, but I'm interested to try it. We have some Penelope Douglas books that I want to get to. I have read, I think, 3 of her books. Some other ones that I want to get to are her most recent one called Falls Boys. This is going to be a series called the Hellbent series. I heard about this one through Amanda from Ginger Snapped Reads. She read this one and loved it, and I think it became her favorite Penelope Douglas she's ever read, which is interesting, so I definitely want to read this one. And then Bully series, which I think I heard Amanda say that you kind of should read the Bully before Falls Boys because I think they're part of the same world and stuff. But yeah, so I definitely want to read those both anyways. And then I have Brutal Prince by Sophie Lark. I'm just going to be rattling these off because I don't have time to explain what everyone's about. And then 2 other ones I've heard good things about are the Cat and Mouse duet, which is called Haunting Adeline is the first one, and then Hunting Adeline by H.D. Carlton. This is another rec from Ginger Snapped Reads channel, as well as Mafia Mistress by Mila Finelli. I've heard about through Amanda. She's the girl to go to if you want dark romance recommendations, by the way. I'll have her channel linked. She is the queen of dark romances, so I get a lot of my recommendations of those from her. Another one is Darling Venom by Parker S. Huntington. I actually heard about this one from Sarah Caroli's channel. She read this one and loved it so much. And then I also have Archer's Voice by Mia Sheridan, and that is another very popular one. I've seen it floating around for a very long time. It's been on my TBR for a while. And then another one is Neon Gods by Katie Robert. I do have a lot of Katie Robert on here. I've not read a single one of her books, but she seems to be writing good dark romances because a lot of people are reading them. And then I also have Pretty Reckless by LJ Shen, and There Are No Saints by Sophie Lark. This one isn't going to be another buddy read with my friend Elena again in May. I have a lot of buddy reads planned for May, which I'm super excited for. Another really recent release is Things We Never Got Over by Lucy Score. I've been seeing this cover in so many Instagram posts lately. Everyone's reading it and talking about it. Another one is, I think these are shorter. It's like a novella duet, I think. It's called Full Tilt by Emma Scott. I can't remember what the second one is called. I want to read both of those. I already have them both on my Kindle because I think they're on KU as well. The American Roommate Experiment by Elena Armas. That is the author of The Spanish Love Deception, so she's got a newer book coming out in, I think September is the release date. I didn't love The Spanish Love Deception, but I definitely want to give this one a try. I think I might like it. I'm not really sure. Another very popular romance series that I want to get to is the Addicted series, Addicted to You by Krista and Becca Ritchie. This is another series that I plan to have as read-alongs for my 24-hour romance readathons. Be on the lookout for that if you haven't read that series yet. You can read along with me because I plan to do that this year. Ali Hazelwood's new release coming out called Love on the Brain. Absolutely love The Love Hypothesis, as did many others, so I'm looking forward to her newest release. Christina Lauren's new book coming out called Something Wilder. I think this one comes out in May. I'm looking forward to that. Also, I have a lot of Mariana Zapata on my romance TBR. All Roads Lead Here and From Lukov with Love. Those two I have on my Kindle. Thousand Boy Kisses by Tilly Cole is another one. Maybe Another Life by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I just read One True Love's and After I Do by Taylor Jenkins Reid for my latest reading vlog, and oh my gosh, spoiler, I love them so much. They are my favorite Taylor Jenkins Reid books by far. I have more Christina Lauren on this list. I haven't read Josh and Hazel's Guide to Not Dating, so that is on my TBR. Oh, I also have The Wall of Winnipeg and Me by Mariana Zapata, and then the spin-off series for the Off-Campus series, which is the Briar U series, and the first one in that is called The Chase, again for the 24-hour romance readathon. Those will be read-along books. And then we have Before We Were Strangers by Renee Carlino, and I think this one is a potential new favorite as well if I ever get to it, which I really want to. I think this one is also friends to lovers, and that's what made me add it to my list. I heard a lot of people talking about it being really good. I remember reading the premise of it and it caught my attention so fast that I was like, oh yeah, immediately adding that. But I don't remember what it's about, so I don't know. I don't have time to explain all of these. I'm just listing them off for you. Of course, Emily Henry's newest book coming out next month called Book Lovers, which, if you didn't know, I think I might have already announced this somewhere, but it is going to be the primary book club pick for the Coffee Break book club. So it comes out in May. I've already pre-ordered the book, so I'm really excited for that. Can't wait to read it. I think we're also going to be reading it for my family book club because, like, how could you not? I'm so excited. This is probably my most anticipated romance release. And then another one that came out in 2021 that I haven't got to yet still is You've Reached Sam by Dustin Thau. That's supposed to be like a really sad young adult heartbreaking romance, I think. And then another one is Marriage for One by Ella Mace. I've seen some things about this one. I've heard it's really good, so I put it on the list. And then I also have Vicious by LJ Shen. I had like 50 books on here, so I know I'm taking forever, but I'm just listing them all off for you. My final one on this list is actually the one that's been on my TBR for the longest, and that is P.S. I Like You by Casey West. So this is a really light, fun, young adult romance that I'm looking forward to because I have read By Your Side by Casey West and I really liked it, so I want to read another one of her books. But yeah, those are all the books on my romance TBR. Let me know if you've read any of them. Let me know if any of them are also on your TBR, and I'm really looking forward to getting to them all eventually, and I'm excited that I'm in my romance era. It's gonna be a great time with all these new books, and I'm excited for all the buddy reads and for the book club picks. That is going to be it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and don't forget to let me know in the comments if you've read any of these, what your thoughts are. Let me know if I misspoke on any of these, if they're actually about something completely different that I did not realize, because I didn't do much research about what all these are about. I've just heard good things, so I add them to my TBR. But anyways, so I hope you guys are all doing well, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!